Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wareham Planning Board of Monday, July 14th, 2025. And open the meeting at 6 p.m. And I will start with a roll call.
Michael Baptiste, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
Jane Gleason here. I am going to be acting as chair for the moment. There has been there were two of us who were up for reappointment, and I was reappointed, and one other member was not reappointed. So we are, and it's the time of year for us to reorganize, and so we've had an interesting situation where the appointing authority consisted of two individuals rather than what I believe may need to be four individuals typically. The only language that I could find indicates that the appointing authority should be made up of the town moderator, the chairman of the Board of Selectmen, the chairman of the planning board, and the chairman of the FinCom. And the appointing authority to appoint the two members of the planning board who are up for renewal consisted of only two of those individuals, the town moderator and the chairman of the Board of Selectmen. So I don't know whether the FinCom was afforded the opportunity to participate in that or not. I know that the planning board was not given the opportunity to participate in that decision-making process. So I personally, as a member of the board, I'm not happy with that. And I think that the
Agreed.
board ought to be given the opportunity to speak on the matter as well.
Carl tried for months to get the appointing authority to hold a meeting. He told them he was leaving the day after our last meeting for extended vacation, which he did. He made the comment that evening here that he was not re-upped, and he was leaving. He didn't know what was going to happen. After a couple of months of trying to get a meeting, it's unfair to him not to have a meeting, or at least postponed it until he got back. I agree with Jane, the appointing authority. I went through the bylaws, could not find anything specific, but on the appointing authority webpage and the town website, Jane's correct, there are four members, which is a crazy number. Four members, so there was not a quorum. I know many times it's the chair of the Board of Selectmen, FinCom chair, and the proponent and the proponent's chair of that committee. That's what I've been accustomed to. I don't know where it changed, but somebody changed it. If Carl wasn't going to be there, which they knew he was not going to be there 2 months ago, calling him absent is kind of silly. And also, Jane should have been contacted as the vice chair to be there. At that point, the vote was 1-1, so if Jane was there, it probably would have been 2 in favor, 1 opposed. So Carl would have been reappointed.
And further, I think we probably should have been given the opportunity where I was one of the subjects of being reappointed, given the board an opportunity to elect a pro tem chair to come and represent the board.
Yep.
Would have been, I think, an appropriate thing to do. But that
Agreed.
opportunity was not afforded.
Carl, you said in the regs, it said there's 4 people on the appointing authority. I've been on this board over 30-some odd years. It's always been 3.
Well, I pulled it from
Is that
our
a-
website.
Is that a change for convenience? You know,
Said down the mic.
Yeah.
federal government screwed up, town government's just as bad.
That's what came off of the website, the
Yeah.
town website.
I'd never
Yeah.
seen a finance committee member or chair.
But I guess regardless, what we believe is, at
Regardless,
the
we were
minimum, it's
representatives.
3 people.
Yeah.
So what we've discussed is, and Jane has graciously agreed to act as interim chair as vice chair. I will act as interim vice chair and continue as clerk of the board. And we will begin the inquiry process to determine the explanation for what happened and to move forward to have a meeting of the appointing authority in its full entirety. And if there are other applications, then certainly we can consider those as well. But Carl has resubmitted an application, so his will be pending before the appointing authority, the fully constituted appointing authority.
It's not like there's a waiting line to get on the board.
Right.
We have to search high and low to find anybody to fill a position. Carl's done a phenomenal job as member and chair. This whole situation is unacceptable. I think
Maybe
I
it's-
would like an explanation. I agree with Mike, it's always been 3, but somebody changed it.
Is it time for a recall vote of the Board of Selectmen? I mean, she's a pain in the, I didn't say that. But she's a pain in the ass.
I think not for this board to discuss at this point, so.
Do we need council involved?
I was gonna call Rich, but I didn't. I think we can handle this ourselves. The thing that bothers me is somebody changed, I agree with you, there's 3 members. I don't know who changed it and when they changed it. It doesn't mean it's right. It's here in the website for the appointing authority.
And there may be something in the bylaws that I couldn't
I
find.
couldn't find it. I went through,
Couldn't find anything.
Yeah. Yeah,
This was the only thing that I could find.
And like I
There's a lot of
said,
stuff I
I
didn't
question
know.
that
Yeah.
right off the bat, because
Yeah.
I've been here a long time.
Yeah.
And it's always been 3.
And I think we can reserve on whether or not Rich gets involved. I think we need
Yeah.
to
So I think,
seek answers
who's gonna be
first,
the
in my
point on
opinion.
this?
so I think who's going to be point in terms of talking with Rich or not? Is that?
Or Judy, or, actually, the chair is Margaret. So
Right.
will you reach out to Margaret? Or do you want me to?
Well, we need to take a vote, I guess, to determine whether I'm going to be interim chair and Julie will.
I make a motion for Jane Gleason to be interim chair.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
And I will abstain.
So that's done. Congratulations.
You need a motion for me.
I need a motion to make Julie Moran the acting vice chair, the interim vice chair.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Aye.
Aye. So, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good luck.
So I think that, you're right, somebody needs to be the point person to speak with the appointing authority.
Also, for the record, I reached out to Margaret 6 times
Yes.
to speak to her about this issue.
Yep.
Never got a response.
So I think perhaps another vote that we need to take is in support of Carl's application, which we typically do for an application. We review it. I don't think we need to review what Carl's credentials are.
Moved.
Second.
All in favor of sending a recommendation to the appointing authority for Carl's reappointment?
Aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Aye.
Jane Gleason, aye. So that goes off to the appointing
Next
authority
steps.
as a 400.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay. So, that was item number 2. We'll go back to item number 1 and approval of the meeting minutes for June 23rd. I did have a correction
I saw
that
that.
got made on the draft that got sent to us. And does any discussion on that? Anybody have any other
Nope.
notes that they want to make? Okay, so I'd accept a motion to approve
Make a motion to accept the minutes of June 23rd,
as amended.
as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
Jane Gleason, aye. Okay, so
Thank you.
moving on, going down to the continued public hearings. It is my understanding that item 4-25 the site plan review for 2731 Cranberry Highway has asked for a continuance.
Up here's your
Cranberry Road.
There is a, sorry, this isn't for that one, but we do have a representative for the Pierceville Road
Pierceville one.
subdivision.
Okay,
There was,
I thought Pierceville was continued.
we're on Cranberry Highway right now, the 2731.
But is Pierceville continued?
Can I just,
I think Yeah.
just make a note on the agenda? We have the agenda that shows as Monday, June 23rd, 2025? Am I missing something at the top?
It says 14.
Mine says Monday, July
Oh.
14th.
It's weird.
Mine says June 23rd.
Yeah. So some of the, okay, but
Oh,
in any event,
that's what Sonia put down on
Yeah.
her desk. I don't know.
okay. Correction noted.
Yeah, correction noted. This is what came off of the website.
Okay.
That's just a
Where
typo on the
came
top.
from?
I think so.
See the real
I
one?
think so.
I've got it, thanks.
I think it's just a typo. The one the clerk had posted was.
Was
for,
correct?
Yeah.
July 14th.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So Darren Grady from Grady Consulting is here. He's going to request a continuance. But
Okay.
Darren, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So my name is Darren Grady. I'm here on behalf of Kevin Welch for the application of 2731 Cranberry Highway.
Yep.
We're requesting a review for, so we can respond to some comments from Ellen and Major. We received the comments the end of last week, and we're down to a very few comments, but we'd like to address them and get you a full review that we're in agreement with.
Okay, so you would like for us to discuss it tonight, or would you like to continue?
I would like to continue, please.
Okay. What is the date?
Yeah, just looking at the next,
Did you have a date in mind?
Yes, July 28th, please.
next meeting. Okay.
What do we have on the agenda for the 28th? It's probably pretty
Yeah.
late.
Josh, what's our agendas, okay?
You guys are pretty wide open.
Okay. So it sounds like that would be just fine. Any discussion among the board?
That's fine. More efficient to get everything resolved at the
Yes,
same time.
I think that's
Yeah.
probably right. So
Great.
I don't need a motion. We can just accept that, I guess.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay, so sounds like the 28th would be just fine, and we will see you then.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
I think we probably need to have a motion.
Is there a,
Probably.
do we need something written from him?
I have a written continuance
Okay.
request already.
Okay.
Yep.
So
And do
really
we
to
need a
accept
vote
the
on that?
request for
I would vote
contingent.
on it, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so I'd accept a motion to extend, or to continue 2731 to July 28th.
Yep, second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Jim Corbett, aye.
Jane Gleason, aye.
Thank you.
Just got two reminders the date was wrong on the agenda.
But the one that was published, Josh, you said was correct, the
That's correct.
agenda? Yeah,
Yep.
okay. All right.
Next item, under continued public hearings, we've got preliminary subdivision plan for Pierceville Road, and I believe that they were also looking for a continuance?
Will, one of the engineers from Zenith is online and would like to request a continuance.
Okay. Somebody there?
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
There we go.
Yeah, Will Connolly, Zenith Consulting Engineers. So we just received the peer review this morning,
Understood.
so we haven't had a chance to address any of the comments yet. So we're requesting a continuance until the July 28th meeting.
Any issues with that? Anybody?
No.
Can I get a motion to continue this project to the
Yeah, I guess my only question, Mr. Connell, is it Connell?
Connell.
Connell. Looking at the report, looks like there are a lot of requests of you, a lot of changes. Do you feel that the 28th you'll be able to complete all of that and to be able to submit it to our engineer? Do you feel comfortable? I know there's a lot. It's quite a lengthy report.
Yeah, I believe we'll be able to address all the comments by that meeting date.
Okay. Great. That was my only question.
Okay. So, can I get a motion to continue this to the 28th?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Ed Baptiste, aye.
Julie Marie and I.
Sam Corbett, aye.
Jane Gleason, aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you on the 28th.
Looking at a record.
Okay, moving on to public hearings. We've got 68 Squaws Path, an A&R project. And as usual, for the record, could you spell your name?
I'm Bill Madden from JF Engineering. Bill Madden, M-A-D-D-E-N,
Thank
from
you.
JF, on behalf of Huss LLC in the Form A application in front of you. I have half-size plans if you'd like them.
That'd be
That
great.
would be great. Oh, yes, I.
Twice in 1 week, Bill.
Hey, we're new at this. Thanks, Bill. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
So as a professional giving testimony, I think I need to swear you in. Can you tell us that all that you say will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Our client's Huss LLC. They have this property on Squaws Path under agreement with the current owners. And it's presently about a 3-acre parcel on Squaws Path. It has a house and a detached garage already located on the property. And what Huss would like to do is separate the house and the garage, the existing structures from a portion of the remaining land, and create an additional Form A lot that will possess the minimum area and frontage requirements in the R30 zoning district. So the R30 zoning district requires 30,000 square feet per lot, 150 feet of frontage. These lots both exceed the frontage and area requirement. And I think at one point in time, we were looking to try to get 3 lots, 2 additional lots in addition to the developed lot on the property. But the land is subject to natural heritage endangered species elements to it. And I think that after we ran it through natural heritage, I think that it was kind of brought up that it would better be, the site would be better suited as a single-family, one additional lot. I think there'd be a little difficulty with setbacks from septic and well and what have you. There's no sewer out there, there's no water out there. So the setback distances between well and septic become pretty critical when we're developing the lots, and they're already critical with respect to the existing house and the separation distance between the proposed lots. A portion of the proposed lot is located in the AE 14 zone. The bulk of it is in the shaded Zone X. The zoning shape factor circle has been added to the plan, so there's a 150-foot diameter circle that's on the plan that's required, and I think that's pretty much it. We do show the limits of the Natural Heritage Endangered Species Program limitations with respect to priority habitat on the map. And we do show like the septic system and the well location for the existing house. So we're, I think, able to demonstrate kind of readily that we'll be able to meet setback distances from well and septic between the developed lot and the undeveloped lot. The The entire parcel was, had a wetland delineation on it. You can see the wetland flags that are located there. There's BVW and salt marsh located on the site. And I think that the development of the new lot C1, appears to me that it should be able to be carried out without any detriment to the wetland area or the associated buffer zone. So that's pretty much it, and that does meet all the zoning requirements. We do have our adequate area and frontage, and be happy to answer any questions you might have regarding the proposal.
So Bill, it looks like Squaws Path is a private way, is that right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Because I know you said a private way in existence on May 11th, 1951, so prior to
Right.
subdivision, okay.
So I guess I would have one question about Squaws Path, and that is how, what the fire department's take on that as an access road in case of fire, and maybe getting a sign off from them, something that says that they're okay with that.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yep.
I spoke to Brad Allen, the EMS director today, and I spoke to Chief Oswald today as well. 68 Squaws Path is actually like the dividing line of onset fire and Wareham fire.
Oh, interesting.
But it is onset fire. After speaking with Chief Oswald today, as much as I would love to get into firefighter operations and tactics as far as water is concerned, he said they have no problem with accessing Squaws Path. There are potholes along it, but he said never has there been a time when it's been inaccessible for them.
Okay.
There are fire hydrants located on Fresh Meadow and then on Great Neck on the other side.
Yeah.
But he had no concerns. And then Brad Allen, our EMS director, said they have routine calls at the beginning of Squaws Path, but they've never had an issue getting in or out of there either.
Okay.
So, I don't have anything in writing, but I did talk to both of them
Okay.
today.
Okay, terrific, thank you.
Good.
Yeah, that was my one
Yeah,
question.
yeah. The private way and accessibility.
Yeah, mostly just first responder accessibility.
Okay.
So, and I guess the other question I would have is about the existing leaching pits at the existing dwelling, and whether they meet Title V, and if that existing dwelling were to need to upgrade their leaching facilities, is there space presumably to the northwest, which is toward the new property dividing line, away from the existing well, to put in a Title V system?
We did not examine that.
Okay.
Visually, from me looking at the plan right now, it appears that there's adequate space to provide a Title V system upgrade in the event that one is needed. Since there's no change, well, I guess, I don't know who's going to be retaining ownership of that lot. I believe Huss is still going to have it, but I think on the conveyance, there's supposed to be a Title V inspection of the property, and at that time, a pass-fail would be determined, but I can't speak directly to that right now. I think that, I don't recall, but I thought there was a Title V inspection report of some sort in the job file, but I don't have a distinct recollection of that.
Okay, it's a practicality question,
Right.
and whether the demising lot line is in a good place to allow that to happen for the existing dwelling and not putting them in a bind.
Is that place on well water too, Bill? There's no town water there, right?
Yeah.
No water out there, yeah.
But it looks like,
Would have been nice to
at
see
least
the
right now, there's
location.
sufficient
Well,
space.
the well is on here.
Distance, yeah.
The well is right here,
Yeah.
existing well.
Okay,
So it would have to go this way, so there's space over here, but,
Yeah.
anyway, that was my concern,
Yeah.
was being able to,
And it may be more than just like the Title V upgrade. It could mean Title V upgrade plus a relocation of the domestic drinking water well
Yeah,
as
right.
well. So there's a couple of different options that could come into play with that. But I think that when we were examining the site with the three lot potential.
that
you know,
was a problem.
Well, we got it pretty close to, I think we got it actually to work, but
Okay,
I want to say that the development side of Natural Heritage Program was going to restrict how much we were going to be able to alter on
Yeah.
on that remaining land.
Right.
Yep.
Man, it's gonna be, yeah.
And I do see that there's an existing well on the property to the east as well.
It's a leach pit.
What's that?
It's a leach pit.
Yeah, right, that's why I was,
Each pit's
there
in
are
front of,
two-
in front of
two
the garage.
two leaching pits
Right, in front of the
and
garage.
one tank.
Wow.
51, so no, that's the old beehive.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking that they might end up finding themselves in a position where they need to upgrade that.
Yeah, a transfer would do that.
It has well, I mean, I guess it shows a septic tank on there, so
Yeah,
the septic tank it's not a cesspool, which would be an automatic fail.
Yeah,
You know, it's a regular Title V system, and, although leaching pits aren't the desired method of sewage
Right.
disposal with DEP currently,
Yeah.
it still is not a
It's still-
prohibited type of system.
Correct.
okay.
As long as it
So as long
passes,
as it
yeah.
passes.
yeah.
Yeah, because we've routinely do like 500-gallon pits on some jobs. you know,
Okay.
that-
Yep.
That can accept that type of installation.
Sure. Okay, just,
Yeah, no, I understand.
any other questions?
No.
Mike?
No, been a long time since I've been up that road.
It's about the same.
That bad, huh? And that's the bad
Very
end.
slow. It's very slow to drive it.
Yeah.
So,
Nope. I don't have any more
I
questions.
would entertain a motion to, or I would accept a motion to approve. And a second,
Second,
and all in favor, Mike?
Baptiste, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Pam Corbett, aye.
Jane Gleason, aye.
Thank you for talking to the fire chief. That
And
made it more efficient.
so, moving on to the next item.
Thanks, Bill.
On the Mylar,
Oh.
can we
Oh,
just pick
yes.
that, Josh?
Yep.
Yes, we could
You
actually,
can do it now.
we could actually do it right now. You wanna do it right now, so you can take it with you?
Actually, if you want to take like a couple minutes to do it, I just need to run to the office or something.
Okay. We'll write slowly.
There you go. You have to do first. Jane, I'll let you date it.
How slowly can I write?
So the same guy living in that house down the end? Years ago, we used to go clamming down there. That guy was kind of a,
Didn't like that?
no, he was a little different, though.
There's a few of those.
We used to come in off of Fresh Meadow all the time,
Yeah.
and he always had something to say.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, well, thanks very much for your time, much appreciated.
Have a good night, Bill.
You too. You as well.
I'm gonna give Josh a couple minutes to
Yep.
get back here. I suppose we could move the
Sure. I just, as an aside, everyone, as you know, the planning office filed the Fearing Hill decision last week, and my understanding was it was about 1,000 pages between all of the exhibits, and so, again, I'm looking at many folks who helped us by submitting your opinions, your research, so thank you for participating at the level that you did in that decision. So we appreciate it. 1,000 pages of it.
Yes, it was a bit of a tome.
Sure was, yeah.
People don't believe it is like this.
It was, yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We were waiting for Josh, giving him a second. There he is.
There he is.
Okay.
Is that?
So, as acting chair, I am going to relinquish my position and step aside and put our new acting vice chair in charge of this one, as I have a conflict of interest.
Chicken.
Okay. So this is, this is a public hearing on an A&R for 190, 191, 227, and 245 Cromisset Road, is it? Cromisset? I guess it's Cromisset Road. Thank you. Can you tell I'm new to the area? I don't have the number. However, what my understanding is that what has been presented is the plans, but Josh, and I'll ask you if you could confirm that you have not yet received an application to determine whether or not the application is complete, which is required by our zoning bylaws and by the rules and regs.
That's correct.
I think there was an oversight relative to that. We can certainly hear a presentation, but I think our opinion is that we would wait until the full application has been received before we could move any further on that. So,
I'll speak to that. My name's Bob Gleason, and I've got the whole application here. I thought it was presented.
Can you speak into the microphone?
Yeah.
You need
Sure.
to sit down and tell us your name and spell your name for the
It's
record.
Bob Gleason, Gleason. Actually, according to the application, it was done on June 3rd, and there was some missing information, which we took back, got the new information. Northeast Engineering redid the plans and submitted them last Thursday. I thought last Thursday we had everything in, and apparently the application
okay,
did not get into the plan. So I've got the application right here, but everything else has been submitted.
okay.
Yeah, so you could talk about it, if you want to give me the 2 weeks to just confirm that everything's right, you could vote on it at your next meeting.
So I'm not opposed to listening to a presentation.
Well, I'm not in a position to give a presentation. I
Okay.
think we may or may not have Sean Leach with us. He's with Northeast Engineering. I said he was going to show up for the hearing, whether
Is he online, maybe?
he might be online, I don't know.
No.
Okay.
That's why I saw online people, so I
You're
thought he
pinch
might be
hitting tonight.
So maybe the easiest thing to do this evening is just continue to the next hearing.
there. Yeah. Okay.
Gene, isn't this one we just did?
Should I give these to Josh now?
I'll take them, please.
Remember that guy?
Thanks.
So can I have a motion to which I assume, based on what you had said, Josh, that we could continue this till July 28th?
Yeah.
Okay. So could I have a motion to
So moved.
vote? Yep, continue.
Second.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
Thank you, sir.
Make a comment here. The plans were what was submitted on June 3rd.
Right.
So the new plan is what you have there. Everything else.
I would take those old plans off of that application, Bob, and just chuck them. Yeah.
So these are the correct ones.
I'll
Okay.
get rid of them for you, sure.
Okay.
So you, a lot of Autobahn out there, huh? I didn't realize Autobahn had,
I can explain.
Okay, so on to referrals and
Yeah.
the other side.
So before you adjourn, I do have a liaison report, if you would indulge me.
Yes?
Yes?
Okay.
For Serpent?
No, just for general planning office happenings.
Well- That would be wonderful, thank you,
Sure.
Josh.
I'm gonna share my screen. So what I am going to present this evening is a few zoning bylaw changes. We'll obviously go through the public hearing process, get them advertised, and have formal discussion. But, give me 1 sec, I'm new to Canva. I need to figure out full screen. Okay, so what I have before you are some zoning bylaw changes that I would like you to think about as we're moving forward, and we'll go through the process. There we go. Okay. So the first one is really just a reintroduction. We had started talking about this before the Springtown meeting. This is our current site plan review flow chart and the proposed site plan review flow chart. So currently, site plan review goes to the planning board. Does it need a variance or special permit? If yes, it would go to the ZBA to obtain those approvals. And then once approved or denied, it gets kicked back to the planning board. Historically, what has happened is if one of those special permit or variance was required, site plan review would just continue through the zoning board of appeals. All of our site plan reviews get peer reviewed by Phil Cadero, so whether it's in front of you guys or the zoning board, I think a lot of the same concerns get picked up and addressed. But what we see as a potential pitfall in what we currently have is if the zoning board may feel that while a variance is necessary, changing the site plan may not require a variance. So they would look for a change in the site plan to avoid giving out a variance, kick it back to you guys, and then you guys might say, we don't really like their idea, kick it back to them to get a variance. So we kind of see this like,
Goes back and forth.
this circular flow that could never end, and we want to be fair to applicants. So historically, we think that the site plan review process was pretty good. We did hear concerns from the planning board that you guys would like to hold on to projects such as solar projects, battery energy storage system projects, and projects within the Wareham Village 1R district. So the proposed site plan review flow chart would be site plan review. Does it require a variance or special permit? If yes, does it hit solar, BESS, or the WV1R? If yes, you would go to the zoning board of appeals for your variance or special permit, and then you would go back to the planning board, finish out site plan review. If it doesn't fall within one of those categories, you would just continue with the zoning board of appeals and get site plan review approval.
So I think that your point about the consulting engineer being consistent for both boards is a really important component of this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that there's a fair amount of logic, particularly with your scenario that you laid out of potential bounce back and forth, which is not a good scenario to have happen.
And going in front of both boards has associated fees with it. Going in front of either of the boards, you have to notify abutters, you have to pay what the permitting fee is, you have to do the public advertising. So there's an additional cost that an applicant is accruing
Yeah.
just to almost get to the same position.
Right. Which seems
Right.
not.
Although we would have, the rules and the site plan, the rules and regulations of the planning board would have to look at those. I don't believe that the ZBA have rules and regulations around site plan review or any of that, is my understanding.
They don't lay them out as you guys do within, rules and regulations. But I think what we've seen from projects is where they don't have the set standards, they've kind of imposed conditions that get you pretty much to the goal line anyway. The other way we could do that is make site plan review standards for zoning and planning.
Yeah. I mean,
So just make them a requirement of site plan review in front of both boards instead of
Yeah.
planning board site plan.
Yeah, I wonder if the rules and regulations of the planning board might be something that the
They could
zoning
use.
board might consider
Yeah.
adopting.
I mean, I think it would
Maybe
make it
with some-
easier for your office as well if there weren't two different sets.
Yeah,
or
it would be.
An existing and then,
Right, I would really hate the idea of you guys having two different sets of rules.
Absolutely. It would make sense if it was the same set, even if it
yeah.
means some adjusting to it for things that they see that they're interested in having
And
part of it.
I would suggest that there be some considerable interaction between the planning board and the ZBA around that. Because I know we spend a lot of time on our rules and regulations, and I'd like to make sure that they're comfortable with it. Maybe they have some changes or some thoughts. I think that would be an
I
effective,
think that's not a bad idea in general, anyway.
yes,
And
yes.
I would be
So-
more than happy to bring this to the zoning board,
Okay.
similarly to how I'm doing tonight, and get their opinion on those ideas as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see us working with them, maybe a little more hand in hand than we
Mhm.
have in the past. So.
Yeah.
I don't know how the rest of the board feels about that, but that's my personal feeling.
So just because we haven't advertised this at all, I don't want to get too far into discussion, but I think it's
Yeah.
something you guys should think about, and if you have any comments, just let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, I got two more.
Just one question to Josh. Is it your thought to be able to bring this to the fall town meeting? Do you think we have enough?
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be the goal. Just because I would hate to run it out to the Springtown meeting. Then you're waiting on the AG's approval, which is additional time.
Okay.
I think this is fairly easy enough to get ironed out before the fall town meeting.
Okay.
Especially because we're kind of reverting to what we had done historically. We're really not proposing anything new or drastic. It's just kind of going back to where we were.
Okay.
Okay, so then the next thing I'm working on is, what we're looking at here is the cluster development, the buildable lots as they would stand in each zoning district. So when you're looking at each of these quadrants, what they are divided into is, top is the R130 zoning setback. On a cluster development lot, the area not shaded gray would be the buildable envelope, which as you can see does not
There's
exist in
none, like,
R130.
the lines crossed.
So it would require a special permit from the zoning board of appeals to build anything within the cluster development. Top right is the R60 zoning setbacks with the buildable envelope. And then the bottom left is our R43 zoning setbacks and our R30 zoning setbacks. So really, most of the developments and cluster developments require a special permit because of how the cluster development article is written. It says the underlining zoning district, you would follow those setbacks. So what we're going to be considering and discussing is what I would propose is we try to identify whether the R43 or the R30 zoning setbacks are more adequate for these lots. And then, we heard concern on one of our recent cluster developments that the 100-foot setback from the road basically gives a property all front yard and no backyard. Where I think there are concerns where people in these type of developments would prefer a backyard to a front yard. And if there was concern about like open space, places for children to play, it's kind of covered in the open space requirement of the cluster developments anyway. So I think this is something that we should consider looking at and making cluster developments either meet the zoning requirements of the R43 or R30 district.
Like 50?
What?
50, are you talking for setbacks? Is that what?
No, so our R43 and our R30 zoning districts already have front, side, and rear setbacks associated with them.
Right,
So what we're presenting here is if you were in the R43 district and you propose a cluster development to meet those setbacks right now, that's what your buildable envelope looks like.
right.
So our cluster development zoning basically says if you want to do any cluster development in our largest zoning district, you automatically need a special permit to build anything.
Right.
And if you do it in our smallest zoning district, you're pretty well all set. We don't have to go by these standards either. You guys could create front, side, and rear setbacks just for cluster developments themselves, but I think it's easier just to adopt an already existing.
Yeah.
I will add that I am and will remain a proponent of giving backyard space to the house, to each individual lot, and even, I'd prefer to see them have larger backyards than front yards, because I think that's a better place to play. Kids are not inclined to end up in the street playing. And the idea of trying to make up for that somewhat with the open space, I think is fine for older kids and families, but not great for young kids. And to have an open backyard, I think, is a much better situation for young kids. That they can be playing outside, somebody can be in the house watching them, but not outside with them necessarily. But if they're remote from the lot where the house is, that's impossible. So that's just my quick 2 cents on it.
All right, moving on is related to housing. And so right now I've highlighted here, this is our commercial general district. It basically runs from 195 down to Perry's Ice Cream. And if you would allow, I'll just zoom in on that district itself. The reason I'm pointing out this district specifically is because we've identified this as being our MBTA, our MBTA compliant district with the MBTA communities, Chapter 40A, Section 3A. And what that basically means is while we're not an MBTA community, we don't host a ferry, an MBTA stop, or a major bus terminal. We are considered an MBTA adjacent community, meaning one of our communities adjacent to us is an MBTA community. I'm sure you've heard a lot of discussion about a lot of these MBTA communities fighting the state on what is required. From what I can tell, a lot of their argument isn't associated to what we see in adjacent communities, because the adjacent communities have a little bit less strict standards than the actual MBTA communities. So right now, the town of Wareham is currently in intermittent compliance with the MBTA communities, meaning we've submitted our application, they've reviewed it, they've identified some areas that we need to amend to be compliant with the state law, and they've given us a deadline date of June of 2026. We've responded to one of their letters, and our discussion with them was, we'd really love an extension to that date, and they did not entertain that. They said you have till June 2026. Okay, so the biggest problem where we don't meet the state law as an adjacent community is currently with, as of right, multifamily development. Currently, in our commercial general district, we allow multi-residence, but what we say is you have to have some type of mixed-use multi-residence. And the thought behind that was shops or some type of amenity on the first floor, and then housing units on, any floor above that. And the state disagrees with mixed unit, and they really would like to see just livable, I'll say apartment style or multifamily housing as of right, not a mixed use. I have prepared a few reasons why being in compliance is, not only a requirement of the state, but why it is also beneficial to the town of Wareham. So here I just talk about, typically what a multifamily house is, what the intent of the MBTA communities law was to do, which was, encourage more housing and try to encourage that housing around MBTA amenities, ferries, MBTA trains and buses and stuff like that. While we're an adjacent community and we're adjacent to Middleborough, which if you're familiar where the Middleborough station is, it was just relocated. It's on 28 past, I'll say the 495 and exits in Middleborough.
In Middleborough, like,
So it was on the middle.
Lake was like right there, at the entrance.
So
It's not far off that.
it was in Middleborough, Lakeville. It was right on the line. They've since moved the actual station. It's completely in Middleborough now. So the easiest way to think about it is it was west of 495 originally, and now it's east of 495.
Okay.
Like I said, really we meet a lot of the requirements of the state law now. It's just that, we've identified multi-housing as amenities below, apartments above, and they said that's something that they're not on board with. So what we would like to do is create multi-family housing as a use in the use table, and then make it solely allowed by right in our commercial general districts.
So I think in the 30 years since the zoning was initially written with that commercial general district and the village districts, back then I think some of the thinking was to try and get walkable communities like downtown. And that was where that commercial on the ground floor and residential up above was the thinking, and that along in the general commercial district that it was more sort of strip mall kind of stuff. And I think that the reality has changed, and there's probably a lot less of the bricks and mortar strip mall kind of stuff happening, and maybe more of a need for housing, multi-family housing out along that highway that has good access to transportation. And so I think that, yeah, some of the needs have changed, and some of the how the architecture manifests itself, or how the development manifests itself, has changed.
And I would say that the zoning district is great if you are, someone who works on Cape, if you work up in one of the cities. I mean, you're right on 195 with the 495 interchange right there.
Yeah.
You really can get a lot of places pretty quickly. Even the MBTA station, if you jump on 495, you're probably 12 minutes from the station. I mean, it's pretty easy to commute from this area to one of those places. So I did list a few reasons why being in compliance is important, mainly because a lot of grant funding is tied to it. The state could pull a lot of grant funding from the town, and where we've only really identified a small change in what needs to happen. I mean, we practically allow these things already, except for having some type of amenity on the first floor. So this is just something that I feel we need to, understanding there might be some controversy at the fall town meeting about it, I wanted to give us 2 town meetings to at least get into compliance before the June 2026 deadline. So, again, I'll be putting together a presentation, we'll talk about this more, but I think these are just a couple things that I would like to try to get done at our fall town meeting.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, makes good sense.
Yeah, yeah, thanks, Josh.
Anything else? Other business, member comments?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Julie Moran, aye?
Cam Corbett, aye.
Lisa and I. Thanks, everybody.
Good night, Wareham.